Hello everyone and welcome to Delirious Demo episode 10. Today I'm going to be showing you the demo of Worms Reloaded, which reminds me of the good old days in which we all played Worms. First a bit about the game. It was released on August 26th of 2010. It's currently available on Steam for around €20. It has some downloadable content packs in total of about €17.50. But you can buy complete packs. You have the Game of the Year edition, which has the game with all the downloadable content for €3 extra, I believe. You also have the Worms Complete Pack, which contains this game, downloadable content, plus a few other games of Worms. The meta score is 79 out of 100, so it's not that bad. Most of you who are playing games for some time and who like things like the old-fashioned LAN parties, they know this game because it was just too good to pass up on. So I'm looking a bit around. I of course made my own profile. The first thing that I notice is that I have no single player availability in this game, in this demo, which I don't really like, to be honest. I like to show a bit of single player. I know that Worms has multiplayer. I hope it has a hot seat feature. I know all the old ones used to have it, and I might just be able to show it on you, and otherwise it will be done real soon. You can, in the extra content, you can see the downloadable content packs, but of course we don't have the full game, so we can't play them. So you have help and options, which is quite good to know. I'm going to look them up later when I need them, because I'm going to forget them. You always do. It looks like a really simple game, and it's a pretty straightforward, simple strategy game. But because you have quite some actions with some of the weapons, you might need to look out a bit in what you're doing. As you can see, we have a few options, not a lot. We have our profile, we have credits, we have language, which are fine by me at the moment. How to play, which has quite a lot of info, to be honest. And I'm going to look at this. So, those are the help and options, which is for a game of this caliber more than enough. We have a leaderboard, which I'm not going into. You have the option to buy the full game in the menu, which is also a nice thing. You can customize some stuff like the themes, the game styles, the landscapes, in which you have a full-blown editor, which is quite fun, to be honest. You can make your own worlds in this. You have speech banks. You hear the worms say things all the time. It's part of the fun of the game, and you can load new ones, save them. You might even be able to record some stuff yourself, but I quite like it. What they make. I'm guessing this is in-game currency, in which you can buy a lot of stuff. No idea. So in multiplayer we have the network game and the local match. At the moment I have a bit of trouble with my firewall, so we'll just be playing on the local. As you can see, you can change the team size between 1 and 4 worms. If you're playing with a lot of players, you might want to give everyone only 3 or 2 worms, just to make it fun. Or you can play kind of king of the hill with each 1 worm, but then it might be able that you're kicked out really fast. So we have a random generator, which is fine by me. Yeah, let's just use this. You have a lot of options, but I'm not going to search them at the moment.
Say hi, because hello is complicated enough.
As you can see,
Just what the doctor ordered.
I can do quite a lot. With the right mouse button, you can choose a weapon. We're going to have no clue what we're going to use at the moment. So we'll start with a petrol bomb. Now, you need to use the arrow keys to change trajectory. You can crawl a bit, and you need to keep in mind the wind and the time you have left in your turn. Keep holding space to add a bit more power to the punch, and if you do it right, you take some health down. Of course, you have random drops all the time, which might just contain really fun stuff. I thought that we had a homing grenade somewhere, but it is limited. I can only use it after so many turns. So let's try something else. As you can see, I need something to get around this thing, but as the wind is in the other direction, I'll just use this. And now we know how we need to use that and how not to use it. Always good fun. The little red green things that you see are mines. You need to avoid them, or just accept that you get blown off. So at the moment we're the red team. I see a blue one down there. And I think that if I manage to drop a bomb almost straight down, then I will be able to get him. As you can see, I use the fact that the slope goes down and that the wind was a bit to the left, and that way you might just make corners which aren't really that logical if you think about it. As you can see, one more turn for the homing missile. To be honest, it's a great missile, but a bit difficult to use. A bit easy to use, but a bit difficult to balance, seeing as everybody likes it, and it's a bit too good if you ask me. Now I can't really, well, I might just be able to hit someone. Let's try it. I'm going to shoot against the wind. And as you can see, it stops the rocket. I didn't shoot hard enough, but now we have a bit of an indication on how long we need to press space just to be able to get all the way to the other side. Now I'll show you the homing missile, which is a long time favorite of mine. First thing we do is we look up an enemy. And now we have one here. I'll put the homing beacon a little to the left. You can aim it straight at the worm, but you need to consider physics. So if the worm gets blown off because you use a bit of misdirection, then you can get him into the ocean. And if you get him into the ocean, he will drown. Fortunately, he didn't flew far enough.
Turn up the music in the headphones. I'm in my zone, Holmes.
Now,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll call you
as you can see, the default is a hot seat variant. I quite like this one, seeing as you can play with 2 players without really you can play it with 2 players and still
every time.
use only one computer. So it's a real fun game just to do it with some friends.
100% remorse.
I don't know for sure, but either I blew one of the red ones into the ocean or he's standing just a bit to the left here.
What the doctor ordered.
I have no clue, so we'll be using the blowtorch. I see it's limited. It wasn't normal to have it limited. It was unlimited before, but might just be a bit different. This way we can go to other worms.
Boring, boring. My homies be snoring. Turn up the music in
And
the
of
headphones.
course,
I'm in my
if
zone,
you're playing with
Holmes.
2 players,
Yes,
this
sir.
would
Yes,
be a
sir.
bit
I'll
dumb,
call you Dad if you prefer.
seeing as I can straight on try to hit you. Now I'm just looking for something which won't blow up hard in my own face, and I'm guessing the shotgun will be perfect.
This won't fly, fly.
You usually get more than one shot,
Take your order. This won't stink. Ow.
so you can use it to first blow up the wall and then hit
Times when you just want to
the
go
other one
away.
without getting damaged yourself, which is always a good thing. As you can see in the top, you can
Say hi, because hello is complicated
see a
enough.
bit of the, what's it called, the
Sir,
total health of the
only
team,
manhood worthy in a game of worms.
which is of course is always a good thing to keep track of, because if one has a lot and the other not, then it might just mean that someone's on a winning streak.
Burning things since the dawn of time.
As you can see, we have some napalm in here. If you manage to get hit by the napalm,
Boring. My
then
homies
it
be
hurts
snoring.
a
Turn up
lot.
the music in the headphones. I'm in my zone, Holmes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll call you Dad if you prefer.
Now, I'll try to hit him straight on. As you can see, the homing missile just turns around a bit before it's activated. And we can use it to put maximum force in it,
Like a gas cooker. I'm gonna keep.
and this way go around.
Hey, you crazy? No, sir.
Unfortunately, I managed to hit one of my
50%
own
damage,
team
100% remorse.
for a little bit more damage than I did to the other team.
Say hi, because hello is complicated enough. Sir, the only night.
Let's try using a sheep. I'm not sure if this will work as I'm planning it, but what the hell. So, sheeps in this game are very explosive. You even have a super sheep variant,
Homies be snoring.
which allows the sheep to fly
Turn up the music in the headphones. I'm in
and
my
blow up
zone,
the enemy's
Holmes.
face.
Take your order like a waiter. I'll bring you the food later.
I have no idea what this does. I haven't encountered it before. But let's just look at it a bit. Oh, I'm guessing it's a shield. Let's see if we have something of an airstrike or something left. Yes. Brilliant. Let's see it work. And as you can see, the rocket just bounces away, keeping my worm safe.
My homies be snoring. Turn up the music in the headphones. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll call you Dad if you prefer.
So let's use a bit of napalm. As I said before, it's quite fun to use. It keeps hurting them. You need to really think about the wind,
That's great, y'all. Just like
because
a home run in baseball.
napalm floats around a lot after it's
Say
dropped.
hi, because hello is complicated enough. Just what the doctor ordered.
But you can have a lot of fun with it. I'm guessing this will pick up movement of enemy
Turn up the
worms.
music in the headphones. I'm in my zone. Holmes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll call you Dad if you prefer.
Which does quite a lot of damage. I like that.
Say hi, because hello is complicated enough.
I must say I'm finding a few weapons which I'm not used to. I haven't seen them before, like the Pang Buster or the Sentry gun which I just showed you. Some other guns, you have the Kamikaze. If you're nearly dead, you can use it to do quite a lot of damage. But you need to keep in mind. Ouch.
Hit me with the gat and I'll get you. I can guarantee that.
But you need to keep in mind that afterwards you lose your word. So if you're thinking that he's going to die in the next one before it's his turn, just use it. It's really, really good. I think I'm going to be using another homing. And this one will be quite fun. If I aim it right, then it will hit the napalm, which fortunately didn't hit anyone. We managed to play this in the past, and we fought with two fortresses, which meant that each team or each alliance had its own fortress, which was quite nice. And the most fun thing about it was that we had a kind of cluster bomb called a banana bomb, which was a bit stronger, and someone managed to blow up its entire team, excluding one worm, using one bomb, and he did it in the first round. And that way it can be quite unpredictable who's going to win, especially if you're not that good in it. If you only play it now and again, then it's quite a challenge. Let's see if we can place a sentry gun and have it used on Jason, because Neil shoots him down. After you place weapons, you sometimes have the possibility to move a few seconds, just enough to get yourself in safety. like when you use port, which just pushes someone a bit, or something like that. It can be quite useful. Let's see. As I said in the Delirious Gaming episode of today, I'm a bit low on time, which means that at the moment my computer is compiling Delirious Gaming, but I already have to record because I don't have the time to wait for it. And seeing as it's finishing up, this turns down a bit of my computer speed. It should be finished in a minute, and I'm not sure if the recording will turn out alright. I myself am looking at a little bit of lag, but as I said, I really don't have the time to do it over, so I'm sorry, but you'll just have to accept it for the next minute or so. It should be done in a second. As you can see, after nearly every shot, attempt to shoot something, you will get a drop. You have 5 seconds to change your seed if you're playing hot seed, and otherwise you have 5 seconds to think what you're going to do before your turn really starts. At the moment we have turns of 45 seconds, so that's about all the time that you get. Of course the match has a total time, which is about 6 minutes. If there isn't a winner after that time, you will get a sudden death and the ocean will start rising up, which can be quite a good thing if you're the one on top. So let's see, we have a bit too much lag to use the jetpack, so I'm trying to use the teleport. So, as you can see, I'm a bit in a hole. I can't really do a lot in here, but I want to be able to pick off some other worms. So I'll just drop myself in here, which also managed to pick up a new item for the team. As you can see, it's ready. Now, as you can see, you just have to use the mouse sometimes, other times you have to aim manually. Anyway, let's just use the dynamite. To use the dynamite, you need to be quite close. You can use enter to jump a bit, which sometimes is quite useful. And we have the first real death. As you can see, when a worm dies, he blows himself up and puts up a headstone. When someone blows himself up, this can oh my, how the hell am I going to take him down? When someone blows himself up, it is quite possible that I'm never going to hit him. The damage might just take out another worm. It does a little bit of damage. I believe 25 was the old standard. I'm not sure what the new one is, but it did quite a lot. Seeing as it was suicide. So if you manage to aim it right, you could take down multiple worms just using one rocket. Of course it takes a couple of turns to set up, so it's a bit risky. You don't want to do it, really. Now I need to look out, because when I get damage, my turn is over. Oh, that wasn't meant to happen. I have no idea what went wrong. I guess I overlooked a little part of the scenery. As you can see in the background, the base landmass has a background, and sometimes you forget a sliver of it, which kills some friends of yours. Let's see which weapons we have left. The parachute is quite a nice thing if you're trying to get off a cliff without getting damage. You can use it. We can use
15 seconds is never enough.
girders to build something to get to the other ones. Let's use a jetpack. As you can see, we can use the jetpack to get to somewhere else. And this one is going to use the baseball bat just to have a little bit of fun. And this is how you create chain reactions, which does a lot of damage. When you customize your own team, you also can choose out a headstone which your entire team will use. So let's see, we have an airstrike left. And I need to look at the options for a bit. Like I said, I forgot a lot. You can change the direction which is of the airstrikes. You can change the length of the fuse. You do it with C. As you just saw, when a worm gets completely underwater, it drowns. Not a good thing. Let's try to see if we can use this one. And that is why sheep are fun. If you manage to use it correctly, you can really do a lot of damage with it. As you can see, I can't get up there.
15 seconds.
As you can see with Kamikaze, you can blow yourself up. I tried to hit him, but I missed a bit. The worm was nearly dead, so it was a safe thing to do. We have one here and one here, and both are nearly impossible to fully hit. We have quite a strong wind against me, so need to use a lot of force. And we finally have Jason down, as I said I would. But the space cadets are a bit of a disadvantage, seeing as how we still have this one. I'm going to aim a bit to the left to account for the wind. If you manage to get them into a hole, this can do quite a lot of damage. And that was just a bit too hard. Which is a shame because you lose the weapon. So who's it going to be, Jason or Grant?
Sir, the only knighthood worthy in a game of worms.
We just got back one homing missile. And with a bit of luck, this means that the space cadets are in a bit of trouble.
Yes, sir. I'll call you Dad if you prefer.
I'm going to try to hit Jason, but I can't throw too hard. And this happens when I throw too softly.
Troops. Say hi. Just what the doctor ordered.
What to do? Let's get another one up here. This is quite a risk, seeing as with a bit of luck they can take me out in one shot. On the other hand, they are covered a bit and might still be able to hit him. Oh boy. That was really close.
If only everything in sir, the only knighthood worthy in a game of
and I saw that I just got back an airstrike, which I will use this way, just to take out the scenery, which of course will make it easier for me to hit him and harder for him to hit me, seeing as he has to do something to get out of here. I'll just use the bazooka. Ooh, it was just a bit too hard. As you saw, the wind just took it. Didn't even need to aim anything, just put enough power behind it. And we have another bunker buster, which we're going to use to hit Woody head on and take him out. So that was all for the Space Cadets. Teamsters have won. As usual, you see a bit of stuff at the end of which each worm was doing best. As you can see, Jest was doing about nothing. So Woody was the worm of the round, seeing as he played the most and probably survived the longest. Which is also why he got this line about hiding under the bedsheets. The Space Cadet team entertained us all, but then again, they died. Space Cadet teams was most precise, which means that I had the most hit accuracy. The team's theme was most dull, which means I used the least amount of weapons. Grant wins the Cockroach Award, which probably means he got the most damage while still surviving. You can see a few things. As you can see, I get a nice screen about playing it. Well, that's about all that we can do. I tried to start a network game, but as you can see, we also can do it, seeing as this is the demo. My first memory of playing worm games is at least 13 years old, I believe, 13. So these games are around for a really, really long time, and they are really simple, strategic games which can entertain everyone. Of course, you have the worms themselves with the funny voices. I definitely recommend you playing this demo, especially if you never played before. To make it a bit more of a challenge, you might want to invite someone to do a real hot seat match. Because I couldn't play any single player, I just played hot seat against myself. But if you manage your own team, you make them, then you tend to favor them a bit. Which of course is good fun and all, but it won't keep the game interesting. You can make your own levels, as I said. You have some extra content which you can get. My advice is that if you get the game, that you get the Game of the Year edition for 3 additional euros, and I'm guessing also $3 or $4 additional dollars. You get the downloadable content, and it is of course much that you get for little. So that was all for this Delirious demo, and I'll see you guys next time.